38M partner is jealous. I'm 36F, active in the gym again. I have not worked out since 2020 when I first got pregnant with my first child. Another in 2023. I let my body go but lost most of my muscle. Not overweight, just lost the tightness and got a gut. 5 years later I finally decide to join a private gym. I love it because it's like Orange Theory where you go through stations and the hour goes by quick. No egos or judgment, everyone's there to work out. The past year my partner has been encouraging me to go to the gym and get active again. He knows it's also good for my mental health. Well, now that I've started and it's been a month, I think he is jealous. I've been going 5-6x a week and have already seen a difference in my body. He makes comments like, "Oh, who are you trying to get fit for?" And, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm watching the kids while you go work out." I know this isn't normal, but curious if anyone else has had this experience. I'm very proud of myself for committing almost every day and annoyed I don't have his support, but whatever. Edited to add. He doesn't work and has the entire day to do as he pleases. He is insecure because he is a loser. Sorry but unemployed, doesn't parent the children unless he has to watch them while you go to the gym. Of course he is going to feel insecure, but rather than build himself up it is easier to tear you down to his level. Big time loser. Anyone who frames your growth as a threat is telling you exactly how they see you. Someone they preferred to be dependent and less than themselves. You spent 5 years prioritizing your kids. Now you are finally carving out time for yourself and he wants to play martyr, acting like an hour a day in the gym is abandoning them? Give me a break. Don't shrink to keep him comfortable with your old reflection. I mean, you are the asshole for keeping a pet adult man in your house. He's clearly a pet cuz he doesn't work, or clean, or cook, or do anything. So he's just like a plant that costs money and verbally berates you. Sis, dump this guy. He is a stay-at-home dad that doesn't do the dad part. He just stays home and lives off of his dad's money while you are raising 2 kids with a nanny. What is the childcare balance between the two of you? That's the only potential valid thing he could have here. What is your manchild bringing to the table? He can't parent his own kids for 90 minutes a day? What was the point of even having kids if he doesn't want to watch them? What the fuck is he even doing all day? Video games, porn, weed, phone, TV. You say, partner, so are you guys not married? Boot his ass out. I, 25M, broke up with my girlfriend, 23F, after her behavior. Now she says she'll change. I recently broke up with my girlfriend after a buildup of behavior that made me feel disrespected. One of the main moments I remember was last year while I was driving. She got annoyed for me wanting to put the destination in the sat-nav instead of following her directions and yanked the gear stick from third into second with 2 children, her family, in the car. We was in a quiet area in the early morning, but it still felt unsafe. She also name calls a lot, and once I say the same thing back, I'm rude. She also constantly calls me embarrassing. Whenever I drink, I'm a lightweight but I don't cause problems. And on a recent holiday with her family she did this again, even though her mum was actually more drunk than me. That same night she punched me in the chest on the way back home and later claimed she didn't remember. I've also never hit her in any way. She's also says things like, "I don't know why I'm in this relationship," or, "Just leave then, if we're ever in a disagreement." Her family has always been kind to me, but I couldn't keep excusing her behavior, so I ended it. Now she's crying and saying she'll change and never do that stuff again. Part of me feels guilty and second guesses whether I did the right thing, but another part of me knows her actions have crossed lines more than once. I guess I'm looking for reassurance that I wasn't overreacting or if it's possible she can change. Update. Thank you all so much for your support and advice. Reading your experiences and perspectives really helped me feel validated in my decision. I realize now that stepping away is the healthiest choice for me and I won't be going back. I'll focus on moving forward and taking care of myself. Thank you. They always say they'll change when you end it. Both men and women, but when you take them back, they slide back into their old ways. And sometimes become worse. Keep it moving, you're young and will find better. Saying this as a woman. You deserve much better. Don't take her back. She's abusing you emotionally and physically. She's no better than Amber Turd. You weren't overreacting. You did good to leave. It would be best to move on here. Can she change? Well, it's not going to happen after one event. It's going to take a lot of inner work, time, and therapy. Maybe her potential will never match what you're looking for anyways. What's important is recognizing the steps and actions that took you to make the decision that you did. Don't go backwards. She might change, but she might not. Even if she does change, it's so easy for people to regress to previous toxic behaviors when they are in situations where those toxic behaviors are familiar. You broke up for a good reason. Stay broken up for that same reason. Cry. Cry more. Feel the heartbreak. It will pass. Then move on and soft date people who don't respect you. She won't change. She is an abuser. Abusers do not change. Block her number and find someone who won't put their hands on you and do reckless and dangerous things while you're driving. You should read this book. The author says in one of the early chapters that if you're a victim who is being abused by a woman to change the gender as you read, but it's a really helpful book to understand her behavior and how you made the right choice to leave. Don't take her back. You made the right choice in breaking up with her. She should have made the decision to change when she insulted you, or when she hit you, physical abuse, even if there was no injury. Even now, she is saying that she will change, but I suspect doing nothing to make it happen. She has crossed the line too many times, and will do it again if you get back together. I, 21F, think I had a miscarriage and I don't know how to tell my boyfriend. 19M. I, 21F, have been together with my boyfriend, 19M, for almost a year and we just moved in together. I've had an IUD since December and ever since I've not had a period. A few weeks ago I started feeling nausea at mornings and nights, which isn't so uncommon as I have a funky stomach, but then my chest began to feel very sore. I took a pregnancy test last week and I am pretty sure I saw a faint second line on the test, but since I don't have the best sight I decided to wait a week and take one again, to see if the second line was stronger. But I never got that far as 2 days ago I had massive cramps and then I bled a lot. I am pretty sure it was a miscarriage due to how it did not feel like a normal period nor look like one. Same day my boyfriend tried to be intimate so I panicked and said I was on my period. He was a bit weirded out, since I don't have them anymore, but didn't question it. So right now he's under the impression I am on my period. My boyfriend and I have previously talked about what we would do if I got pregnant, had a broken condom incident, and agreed we are too young for babies and that stuff. I am torn if I should tell him or not. Each time I am about to tell him I feel physically sick to my stomach and can't get the words out of my mouth. Would he want to know? It's gone now, so telling him wouldn't change the situation at all. If I tell him, how would I go about it? Do I tell him casually or in a more planned out way? I also have to figure out how to say that I lied about being on my period. Some advice would be very sweet. I don't have anyone I wish to share this with. Too long did not read. I, 21F, lied and said I had my period to my boyfriend, 19M, when in reality I was having a miscarriage. Now I don't know how to tell him or even if I should. Firstly, go see a doctor, then talk to him. Go see a doctor, first things first. So sorry you had to deal with that. Secondly, don't push yourself too hard. You aren't taking anything away from him by keeping it to yourself for a while. I feel like you should eventually tell him just to get it off of your chest, not because you owe it to him. If he's a good man and you know he would comfort you, I say go for it. You two may need to use 2 forms of protection from now on. Best of luck. Talk about it. The miscarriage could have impact on your mental well-being. Being able to communicate about it with him is an important step for healing. Since some feelings might come up again when trying for children in the future, from my experience. You don't even know if you were pregnant. With the IUD, random periods can pop up. Even with an IUD you should still be having your partner wear a condom, as way too many people still get pregnant. Just tell him what's going on and that you're going to the doctor to get checked out. If you can't communicate, then you have no business being in a relationship. Doctor first, then talk to BF. Seeing a doctor is imperative for this issue and one for your eyes. Tell your BF, I think I was pregnant and then had a miscarriage, but I'm not sure. My husband 28M doesn't want to introduce me to his coworkers 26F concerning? My husband recently got promoted to executive director, and along with him a woman named Sophie was also promoted. Because of this promotion they have had to work closely and constantly for the past few months. I've never raised an eyebrow because of their relationship. Everything has always seemed very respectful. But with that said, they do work together each day and text all day long. Typically work related, but nevertheless, if we are anywhere together they are exchanging texts for one reason or another. He also shares stories about his day each day, and the majority of them involve her in some fashion. Again, nothing inherently disrespectful, but often enough to take notice. Tonight I told my husband I would love to have her for dinner. He said before we share some similar qualities, so besides the fact it's the potential for a new friend, I also would love to blend our worlds more and have the opportunity to introduce myself to the woman he spends so much time working with. He was quick to let me know this wasn't something he was comfortable with. He told me he wants to keep his work life separate, and feels it would be awkward to sit through a dinner. I expressed that I think it would be fine, especially if she and I have things in common like he said, and think it's appropriate for me, his wife, to be allowed the opportunity to meet her. This conversation went on for around 45 minutes, and the most progress I made was him telling me, "You're free to text her, but I don't want to have dinner together." I'm feeling frustrated and confused because I think it's a simple and fair request to simply meet her, but he insists that's not normal. I told him my married friends, mother all know their spouses' co-workers to some degree. But he told me that's not how it was in his home, and that I can even ask his mother. At the end of the day it doesn't really matter to me what anyone else does. Just simply that I'm asking this and he's so oddly against it. Am I overthinking it? Should wives not meet the women their husband constantly talks with? Edit. For further context, he has cheated with a coworker before. I agree with the commenter who noted that if his texts with this coworker are taking place during family time, then there's no work-home divide for the op to breach. Time for the op to stop by her husband's job for a lunch date or a drink after work. But with that said, they do work together each day, and text all day long. Typically work-related, but nevertheless, if we are anywhere together they are exchanging texts for one reason or another. He was quick to let me know this wasn't something he was comfortable with. He told me he wants to keep his work life separate, and feels it would be awkward to sit through a dinner. They can text each other all day long, well outside business hours, and blurs into your time with him, but he's keen on separating work life. The double standard. That edit. I think you misheard him. He doesn't want to keep a separate work life, but a separate work wife. Are they friends outside of work? My husband has only met my coworkers, and vice versa, in two circumstances. If I became friends with them and we hang out outside of work, or if there is an official work function that includes partners, families. If they aren't friends outside of work, then I do agree about it being awkward to invite her to dinner. He may feel it changes their dynamic from coworkers to friends, and that isn't what he wants. If they've never hung out outside of work, then yeah, it's weird to invite her over.